Hello there, David from Jariba here, and welcome to this month's edition of the Product Spotlight. Now there's a number of new features in Dashworks 5.5.4 and 5.5.5 I want to run through, so let's get started. In 5.5.4, you can now manually add applications to users and devices via the Project Applications page in Evergreen Details. This replicates the functionality available in the project system for manually adding applications to users and devices. Now, if I navigate to the Project Applications page for my Windows 20H2 project, I can add an application to this device. Now, to add the application, we're creating an association to the current state of the device. And all I need to do is click the Add Apps, type in my application name, and click Add. Simple as that. Now, once I've manually added applications, the cog will be highlighted, and if I need to remove those applications, I can just click the cog and remove, or alternatively, I can bulk select and use the cog at the top to remove manually added applications. Another new piece of functionality in 5.5.4 is the ability to bulk remove any readiness overrides you apply to applications in Evergreen. So as you can see here, I have applied a couple of readiness overrides to the applications for this particular device. And if I want to go ahead and remove them, I can either go to the cog, remove the readiness override, or I can do a bulk select and use the cog at the top and remove those readiness overrides. In 5.5.4, we have added date tasks for applications to Evergreen Self-Service. Now these work in the same way as date tasks for devices, which came in the last release, and we have full capacity available for these tasks. Now we can use these tasks to schedule UAT tests for applications with the application owner, and that's the story that we'll run through here in the demo. Now to illustrate, I've set up a self-service in Evergreen. I've given it a name, a scope to operate on, and I've given it a short name here as well, which is used to uniquely identify this self-service and used in the URL. If we take a look at the builder, I've combined my date task here with the application ownership component. So I have some welcome text, the application ownership component. I have some additional text informing the user what we want them to do, so they're going to be email connection details for a VM where they can complete their UAT testing. And they have 5 days to complete that testing. Now, if we edit the task itself, I've given it a name, the project that the task is in, the task itself, and I've also set up an alias for that task to make it a bit clearer to the user, or the application owner even, what we want them to do. Now, I've set up capacity for my task, but if you don't have any capacity, then you can enforce simple capacity here. And if you have set up capacity and you only have one slot, then there's no point displaying all the slots to the user if there's only one. No, and here's how it looks to the end user. So my application owner can come in here and change the owner if they need to. And if we scroll down, we'll see my select a scheduled UAT date. As we can see, I have set up capacity here, so there's no slots available on those days. I have a date window. Within that date window, I have 5 slots available on each day. And we've blacked out public holidays, weekends, and any other days where we can't perform any UAT testing. So I'm going to select the 22nd of December. I can undo my changes if I want, or if I'm happy, I can continue, and the changes are committed. As with the other self-services in Evergreen, we can report on how complete they are, so we can track this, use the information in dashboards, use the information to remind application owners that they have not yet tested their applications. So we can see here that some of our application owners have been in, viewed the welcome page but not completed. And we can see the application that I've just completed the self-service for. In 5.5.4, there's a new bulk update and automation type, and that is add note. Now this works for devices, users, applications and mailboxes, and it enables you to add freeform text to an object within a project and record any relevant information that maybe doesn't fit in elsewhere. So in my example here, I'm going to use my Windows 10 20H2 project scope. I'm going to select a couple of rows here, and I'm going to select the bulk update. Bulk update type is add note, and the project is my 20H2 project. And the note I'm going to add here is that these devices run critical applications. So just a note to the project team to make them aware of that fact. Now I can I can save any favourite bulk updates if I'm going to do this regularly. If I just run the update, select the device and navigate to my project, I can go to the Notes tab and I can see that the note is available there for viewing in the project system. As with the other bulk update types, you can run add note as an automation by providing the appropriate details and selecting the appropriate actions for your automation. In 5.5.5, we've added select tasks to self-service. Now this is a real plus in the functionality of self-service, as it's possible now to ask end users custom questions, and we can use those to create questionnaires or user surveys in self-service, or to validate any existing data that is held in Dashworks. Now I'm going to use the application ownership self-service again as an example. So I have my welcome text, I have the application ownership component, and here I'm going to add my select task that I have in my project. So I have to give it a name, the project for the task, which is 20H2, and the task itself. And here's my task I've set up down the bottom here. And again, I can set up an alias to make it more self-explanatory to the user of self-service. And I'm just going to call it license confirmation. I can see the values that I've drawn from the project here. So I have not applicable, no, and yes. And if I wanted to, I could rename these in the self-service to make them more self-explanatory to the end user. I click create. A component has been created, and here's how it looks to the end user. So again, we have the application ownership component, and here is my select task here. So we have not applicable, no, and yes. Not applicable because some applications may not require a license. Click continue, and that's the self-service complete. Once again, if I navigate to my applications list here, I've added the columns to track the completeness of this particular self-service. And I can see which application owners have completed their tasks and which haven't. And I can schedule reminder emails to go out to those application owners who have not yet completed their tasks. In 5.5.5, there's a new bulk update and automation type, and this is update category. And this is available for devices, users, applications and mailboxes. And it enables you to set or remove a project category for an object. So any categories that you set up as a way to organise your objects in a project. For example, you might want to set up categories for VIP users, remote users and standard users. So if we run through an example here, I'm again going to use my Windows 20H2 project scope. And I'm going to select the first two items here. And this time the bulk update that I'm going to perform is to update the category. I need to select my project and the category. So we already have a couple of categories within this project. I'm going to assign these to the category encrypted device. Again, I can save this as a favourite bulk update if I need to. All I need to do now is click update and commit the change. And if I go and add the appropriate columns to my report, I can see the category displayed. You'll shortly be able to view tasks on the Evergreen Details page. Now, the first step in 5.5.5, which we brought in, is to show the stages which tasks are grouped into and the readiness of those stages. In 5.5.5, you can override the readiness of any stage for the particular object. So, for example, a device may have a green for migration, and you actually don't want that device to actually progress, so you can override the readiness to blocked. And if you navigate to the Evergreen Details page for a device in Evergreen, you will see a new link, Tasks. So select the project, and then it shows the readiness of the various stages for this device. And overriding is a simple matter of selecting the stage and selecting the value that you want to set it to. And if we go into the project, we can see that our self-service and comms stage is now in the yellow state. And that's all the updates that I wanted to take you through today. And we'll round off by having a look at what's improved in 5.5.4 and 5.5.5. What's changed? And what's been fixed? And any known issues. Finally, I just want to thank you for your time in watching this short updates video and look forward to speaking to you next time. Until then, take care and bye bye.